of my life. So once again, 3-part inhale through the nose. And then out through the mouth, fold up the hips, send the blood straight to the brain. Do that for 1 minute. Anytime you're feeling tired, anytime you need a study break, anytime you feel like you need energy or caffeine, watch what happens. The blood, you're gonna create prana, life force. It's gonna send it straight to the brain. You're gonna have a good 30 minutes to an hour of a boost of energy just from 1 minute of breath work. Brain booster, boost that brain, get it. Have a beautiful day.
Take a sheet of paper, make it into 4 columns. Things you love, things you're good at, things that make money, things the world needs. Then brainstorm everything you can for each of those categories. Draw 4 circles: what you love, what you're good at, what makes money, and what the world needs. What you love and what you're good at, that's your passion. What you're good at and what makes money, that's your profession. What the world needs and what you can make money on, that's your vocation. What you love and what the world needs, that's your mission. And you want to be right here.
Listen, every day of your life, you're negotiating with someone right up here. There's actually 2 people that you're negotiating with right up here. It's the bitch and the beast. And that's the problem with most people, that they begin to listen to their inner bitch. And the bitch begins to doubt. The bitch begins to operate off of fear. The bitch talks you out of the big dreams and plans and goals that you have because it's scary. There's too much risk, that you shouldn't do it, that people aren't behind you. They're not supporting you. Instead, I want you to always silence the inner bitch and feed the inner beast. Do what the beast wants you to do. Dominate life, kick ass, work out, eat right, help others, make tons of money, and above all, live a life of impact. I'll see you later.
I believe it was easy when it wasn't. Maybe I made you think my highlights started at the free throw line and not in the gym. Maybe I made you think that every shot I took was a game winner. That my game was built on flash and not fire. Maybe it's my fault that you didn't see that failure gave me strength, that my pain was my motivation. Maybe I led you to believe that basketball was a God-given gift and not something I worked for every single day of my life. Maybe I destroyed the game. Or maybe you're just making excuses.
Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. And he taught me 3 things. He said, if you want to become successful in life, young man, he said, number 1, you got to change your mindset. He said, you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. Number 2, practice OQP, only quality people. You earn within $2,000 to $3,000 of your closest friends. And the 3rd thing he said, develop your communication skills, because once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are.
You just have to try different things, and even if 99% of them fail, you only have to be right 1 time. You don't have to figure it all out in advance. You can be wrong, you can pick the wrong career, you can pick the wrong job, you can pick the wrong spouse, you can pick the wrong whatever. But you get it right 1 time, you're set. But if you don't try And if you don't go out there and try all those different things, you'll never get that one time. And so it's not a question of, okay, how much different stuff do I do, or how many different things should you try? Try them all. Try them all until you find the one you like. And then it's like, it gets really easy. Because even when shit fucks up, you're on a mission. You're loving what you do, and then it gets easy. And so that's just the approach I've always tried to instill in people who work for me and myself.
Number 1, if you're single, refrain from sex or porn. Sexual energy is one of the most powerful energies in the world. And if you can control that energy for 1 year and put that into something to move you forward, you'll be powerful beyond measure. Number 2 is wake up at 4 a.m. or earlier every single morning. You'll be 10 times more productive than anybody around you, allowing your mind and body to be ready for the day. 3, write down your goals on a daily basis. Just write them down. I don't care if they're shitty goals, just write them down on a daily basis. Trust me on this. Number 4 is replace TV with YouTube or reading a book, audiobook or physical book on a daily basis, bringing in new knowledge into your mind. Now do you understand why there's so few people that are millionaires? These are 4 things. If you do these for a year, you're gonna see your life absolutely skyrocket. Rise, warrior!
How did you figure you were going to start a car company and be successful at it?
Well, I didn't really think Tesla would be successful. I thought we would most likely fail. But I thought that we at least could address the false perception that people had that an electric car had to be ugly and slow and boring like a golf cart.
But you say you didn't expect the company to be successful, then why try?
If something's important enough, you should try, even if the probable outcome is failure.
Is I will outwork you. When you get to winning, for me, it's come down to maxing out. And what maxing out means is you do one more at least than you think you're capable of. So when you're done, whatever you're doing, whether it's at the gym or phone calls or meetings or in sports, one more shot, one more throw, one more swing of the golf club or the baseball bat, the separator is for the winners, they do one more. And I'm the kind of guy that I know when you do 45 minutes on the treadmill and I do 46, I deserve to be fitter. I know that when I'm lifting weights and I watch you do 5 sets of 10 and every single time I do one more. When it's supposed to be an 8-hour workday, I work 9. Whatever it is, I always do one more. And what that does is it makes me eventually think I'm doing things other people aren't willing to do, so I should get things other people aren't going to get.
Oh, inner dialogue is everything. 99% of all psychiatric problems are because people are having inner dialogue thoughts that have been programmed since a young age to make people feel like they're not worthy, they're not good enough, they're not doing something right? So all these programming as children that we learn creates an inner dialogue. Now, we're not our inner dialogue, but when people start identifying with our inner dialogue like it's true, then that inner dialogue creates a frequency which affects cell permeability, which affects what DNA and proteins are coded for. So we must change our inner dialogue. So the way to do that is to continually be in a state of prayer. So for every negative thought, catch that. You got to catch the inner dialogue. Be aware of the inner dialogue. That's the first thing. And change it. So change it. For every negative thought, replace it with 3 positive thoughts. Right before you're going to sleep, say 10 positive affirmations. Right after yoga, say 10 positive affirmations. So as the mind learns through repetition. So inner dialogue is everything. And wherever you go, if you have social anxiety, start changing your inner dialogue to pray for people wherever you go. Take the focus off yourself.
I recommend that you go to bed earlier. Because what are you doing at night most of the time? Most of the time at night, you're not working on anything super productive. You're just winding down and watching stupid YouTube videos or surfing the internet, reading clickbait stories, right? Don't do that. Instead, go to sleep and then wake up early.
Could you explain that notion of discipline equals freedom?
If you want more freedom in your life, you have to have more discipline. If you don't have any discipline, you'll end up with absolutely no freedom. You'll end up being a slave to other people that boss you around. There's all kinds of problems that can occur if you don't have discipline in your life. And the more discipline you have, the more freedom you're gonna have.
So just the discipline of the SEALs it's impossible to leave?
No, it's possible to leave. There's retired SEALs all over the place that are undisciplined. They've moved on and they don't care about that anymore. It's fine. I don't judge other people on what they're doing. Like, they're probably stoked to sleep in and hang
Nervous system cannot tell the difference between a real experience and one that's imagined vividly. Whenever we're imagining the worst of the worst occurring to us in any situation, like if you think about, look at what anxiety is. Anxiety is nothing but the negative projection of future events. Our nervous system, our subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a real and an imagined experience. Therefore, when we do that, we are actually creating a memory in our mind, in our system. We're creating a form of trauma in our system. Every time we're imagining this stuff happening in a way that we wouldn't want it to have happen. And if you were to actually categorize the things that you worried about over the last 5 years, how many of those things actually came to pass? How many of those things were as bad as you thought they were? You would find that none of them were ever as bad as you thought they were going to be. So as we're sitting here wrapped up in anxiety, having all these projections of what the future is going to be like because we're in this fight or flight system, your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between whether or not that's real or whether or not that is a fictitious projection in your mind. That's why you feel so incredibly stressed and anxious.
So it's easy to have ideas. It's very hard to turn an idea into a successful product. There are a lot of steps in between, and it takes persistence, relentlessness. So I always tell people who are, who think they want to be entrepreneurs, you need a combination of stubborn relentlessness and flexibility. And you have to know when to be which. And basically, you need to be stubborn on your vision, because otherwise it'll be too easy to give up. But you need to be very flexible on the details, because as you go along pursuing your vision, you'll find that some of your preconceptions were wrong, and you're going to need to be able to change those things. So I think taking an idea successfully all the way to the market and turning it into a real product that people care about and that really improves people's lives is a lot of hard work.
Very few people are actually willing to put in the work necessary to change their current circumstances. Because most people either fall into the victim mode of thinking they can't do anything and then don't try, or they fall into the victim mode of trying, and if things don't go absolutely right the first time around, they quit and give up for life. Don't let yourself become that way. Don't think that you can't change your circumstance. You can. It might take years to do so, but it is possible. You'll fail, but then you'll succeed, and you'll fail again, and then you'll succeed again. But if you continue going and continue committing to being your true self and making this life something you love and you enjoy, it will manifest. That I promise.